What'd you think of that video?
Now, are you saying it was called for? Is that what you're asking me, or are you asking? What are you asking exactly?
So from what I saw,
because there's like two different snippets. It's like, so what I saw was one of his maybe security guards or close friends grabbing the property owner and pulling him away from the Lamborghini that he was inside while shooting the video, because he was trying to shut the video down, and in the midst of them, being in certain moments. And then there's another video where they have him screaming out racial slurs, and when I say him, I mean the property owner. Okay. So I don't know. I can't connect the dots. I don't know if it's the same video. I didn't look and see if it was the same outfit that he had on, or
So I don't know if it was the same time frame.
Yeah.
But I did see where the property owner, from how the video looked, he assaulted someone, and then
they said he spat in his face.
Okay. I mean,
no, that's called for.
I saw him coming at him. He retaliated.
I didn't see any, I didn't see any spit.
But he didn't hit him.
I didn't see a Rondo on Chris Paul type of thing. I just saw. I don't know.
I mean, then I heard Dababy in the background like, "Oh, don't worry, don't hit him. We got it on camera." Yeah. He's like, I mean, he sounds very confident that we have the situation.
So that was who was saying, "Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him."
Yeah.
I didn't know who that was. All right.
See, and that's why I feel like context is so important, because if you were to just read the headline without watching the video, you would just think that he just got into a fight with somebody. It wasn't even him. It was an associate, and the associate didn't even hit him.
Yeah.
Looking at the
pushed
video.
Him away. Yeah.
And that's all alleged. Don't go in the comments like,
man, we don't have the full video.
We don't know. We weren't there. All we can speak on is what we saw. And not to say that even the property owner, he may have well been within his rights to do whatever it is that he was doing.
Because it is his property.
Yeah, we don't know. But we're just going, based off of what we can see.
Yeah.
And then also my opinion of that situation. And my opinion is not to be debated.
Yeah, it's nothing for you guys to speak on. It's what I think. You can converse with your other friends or people online about it, but what we see and what we feel about it is what we see and what we feel about it.
Yeah. Exactly, and then whatever you see and what you feel about it is what you think, and it's whatever you think.
Power to the people.
That's respectable. But really, when I saw this, a bigger topic came up to me, and it had me thinking. So at this point, if you're an entertainer, then public opinion will eventually affect your bottom line. It does affect the money that you make.
Not even eventually. Right nowadays, it's right away.
Right away, actually.
Because how he lost all of those shows before, from everything that was going on, it was instant. Right after that Rolling Loud moment that he had, everything after that, cancel. No more Dababy. No, like he had to build his way back up just to get this little bit that he has now going again. But he lost a lot of money.
And we seen from his self-defense charges with his shooting, from that to homophobic slurs.
Man.
We saw, fighting with the mother of your child, her brother.
To the new one, fighting your own artist.
Fighting, I mean,
at a show, at a venue.
At a show, at a venue.
With cameras and executives around, like.
Wrong place and time.
Man.
You have to move smarter than that. But at the same time, it had me thinking about the stand-up that Dave Chappelle did, where he was saying that this man killed another black man. Self-defense.
Yeah.
He killed another black man, and that actually propelled his career even further.
But that's how rap works sometimes.
That's how rap works.
Most of the time, actually.
But then when he discredited these group of individuals, it was like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
So the point that Dave was trying to make is that we should have had that same energy
for someone committing murder.
Whether it be self-defense or whether it be an agitated situation where maybe he was the aggressor. And this, he already went to court for it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, and from what we know, it was self-defense.
Yeah, but he got off, so.
Yeah. So, we know that he's been in controversy after controversy, and I was trying to be as objective as possible and understand some of the incidents, because I know that in some of them I may have behaved in the same manner, because I know myself.
And he's still relatively new to the whole fame thing, so he has to grow more accustomed to reacting a certain way in certain situations.
Do you feel like there's a smear campaign going on for the baby right now?
It's not even just him. Yes, there's a few artists and people in general.
It almost seems like it was like a lot of this stuff was calculated
Distraction.
because it's like headline after headline after headline.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone introduces footage that, in my opinion, really was not that relevant.
I read a post. Someone was saying, I think he was speaking on it. Have y'all noticed how they're trying to get me out of here? And someone was saying, now that you have your own and you're making most of your money, you don't have need for them. So now they have to try to mess up what you have going for you.
And look,
I don't know if it's true or not.
but it just seems way too organized to be a coincidence that
Yeah.
all these blogs, that all these major publications are just coming like every week. It's a new one. It's a new one.
They're
It's a new
trying to
one.
blackball him, but he's too big to blackballed.
And not to say that some of these things he didn't bring upon himself,
He definitely did.
but a lot of these past incidents, some of them made him the person that you want to see. And a lot of people want to see him fail now. A lot of people want to see him fail in the public eye, but I feel like you got to give him some grace. Just because if someone apologized, like Terry Crews did, for example, it's not really up for anyone to say whose apology is sincere or it's not sincere.
Yeah.
You have to give people time and them to show you through their actions whether or not they actually meant what they apologized for.
Well, lately people just want you to kiss their feet afterwards for a certain amount of time. You can't just apologize and really be sincere about it. You have to apologize and then kiss ass for months to years afterwards. And not to offend anyone, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and in this situation, and especially for Dababy right now, prayers to him. I really do hope that he kind of figures this situation out, because
this is putting food on your table, man.
Right, and to an extent, some of these things you can circumvent. Some of these things you can avoid.
Yeah.
You got to move different. You gotta take precaution. You can definitely do better if that was what you wanted to do. So I'm not just gonna put it all on all these situations. You can't avoid everything, but you can definitely change your reaction.
Yeah.
And
we don't know the full story or the full outlook on things.
These are all just opinions.
Yeah.
With that Rolling Stone article where they released the footage. When I was looking at that footage, I just want to add more context there. It looked like the man who he killed, and he was a 19-year-old boy, I believe his name was Jalen. He killed him, but prior to that, his friends were coming up to Dababy saying, "Oh, we know who you are. We know your music."
He was being followed for a little bit.
Right. So it wasn't like they just came up to him aggressive, but they were saying, "Hey, we know you. We know your music." I think when it happened, he may have gotten a little physical, like, "Hey, back up." But then Jalen came back. 19-year-old came back. He flashed him a gun. So
there was a small tussle before.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know why they released that. It's not like it adds. It doesn't give more context to the situation.
You said before, a smear. It's possibly a smear. Because after all this time, what good does that do you?
It doesn't change anything. Yeah. I saw that some people were saying that he needs to be like retried for it. But no matter how you look at it, and that's not to take away from the victims, because a life was lost.
A life
that
was,
day.
And that's
somebody's child.
And prayer to the family and friends.
That's somebody's baby.
Yeah.
So that, not to take away from that, but in a you put yourself in that situation.
Someone flashes a weapon at you.
You flash a gun at me.
That's life threatening.
When you do that, you have two things that you can do. It's either going to be fight or flight.
And they were in a state where it's stand your ground, I believe.
So you can do that. He must have been in Florida. Now, the thing is, if you give me that option, I'm going to choose me every single time.
Yeah.
Self-defense, whether it was agitated by myself or not, if you try to kill me or give me the inkling that that's your intention, I'll kill you first. That's really how I feel about it. I'm sure anybody
And he was there with the mother of his child and his daughter.
Yeah.
So.
That doesn't. Again, I don't want that to take away from the fact that life was lost.
Yeah.
Life was lost, and that's a very serious thing. It's just like, you know, we already got past it. There was no real purpose of bringing it back up. There wasn't anything more that you can gain from it. I didn't feel like it gave me a different perspective. It just showed me a little bit. It gave me more insight to how the situation came about. That's all it did. It didn't do anything for the victim's family. It didn't do anything for the baby. It really, honestly, just didn't make sense to even put it out.
And that's the point.
Which is why, again, I go back to this looks like a smear campaign. But I could be wrong. Maybe that's a conspiracy theory. I have a bunch of those.
We'll let you all debate.
Yeah, y'all could decide whether or not, you know, but it is what it is. Again, I hope that man stays out of trouble.
Stay blessed, man.
Yeah.
You're in a great position.
Be up. Just try to do better. People are watching you. There are people that look up to you. You know, you may not.
There are people out there watching you that don't look up to you. They want you to fail. So remember, like, respond and react to certain situations a certain way. There's always a camera somewhere when you're that big.
And you know, a lot of people they always say that they're not role models, or they didn't really ask to. If greatness is thrust upon you, you didn't have to ask for it. Once it's thrust upon you, it's thrust upon you. You're.
It's a responsibility.
That's it. You didn't have to ask for it. It's just in you. Yeah. So whether you like it or not, it's there. And you know, everything that you do, everything that you say, there's going to be bigger repercussions than the average person.
You sound like you were reading his rights.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
Hey, man.